What's up, Met fans? Welcome back. Talking Mets and Rob. How's everybody doing? Before I get started talking about the NL East battle and who is going to come in dead last in the NL East and who is going to be the top dog of the NL East in 2021, don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed this video, you already know what to do. Hit on that like button, everybody. If you enjoy all my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos and when I go live, hit on that subscribe button, everybody. Let's make this channel, Talking Mets and Rob, go big time on YouTube. All right, guys. So the NL East battle in 2021. Who are the top dogs and who are the guys that are going to finish dead last in the NL East? So we're going to get right into it. I'm going to rank them from last place to first place. I am going to give you the records of each of the teams, and I will give you the players that will stand out for each and these teams in the NL East. So we're going to get started right now. Coming in last place in the NL East in 2021 is the team down south, the Miami Marlins. Their record that I gave them for the 2021 season is 79-83. Now, there's a few reasons why I gave them this record and why they're in the bottom of the NL East. There's a few reasons, because one is their lineup. Their lineup is still not as good as that it could have been if they would have kept all their players a few years ago. We know who those players are: Stanton, Yelich, and Ozuna. But at the end of the day, their lineup is not as good as any other team in the NL East. Their lineup is a big concern. Obviously, they got a few big guys such as Jesus Aguilar, Starling Marte, who are going to be the big power bats, who are going to be the guys carrying them on their shoulder. But they have a big problem with their lineup. Their bullpen is not that good. And it is just not the season for the Miami Marlins. The Miami Marlins are a very pesky team. They are Met killers. For some reason, the Mets have a hard time beating the Miami Marlins, and they will be a hard team to come by and to beat when these NL East teams face them because of their starting rotation, which is the biggest plus for this Miami Marlins team, especially the top three. When you got Alcantara, you got Sixto Sanchez, and you got Pablo Lopez. Those three at the top of the rotation are going to be tough for any team in the NL East to go against, and it will be a hard time scoring runs against their rotation. But when it comes to their lineup and their bullpen, it is very hard to see this Miami Marlins team doing any better than last place. It is unfortunate, but that's the way it is when it comes to projecting these records, when it comes to teams that are not that good. Unfortunately, there has to be a last place team, and it is the Miami Marlins. Don Mattingly's Miami Marlins are going to be in last place with a 79-83 record. That is the Miami Marlins, last place in the NL East. Coming in fourth place in the NL East, it is none other than the Philadelphia Phillies. Few reasons why the Philadelphia Phillies are fourth in the NL East, coming in at a record of 85-77, is because their rotation is not as good as everyone brings it out to be. There's one guy that I do trust. The former Met, Zach Wheeler, is the one guy that keeps on showing that ever since 2019, in the second half of the year, he is a big-time pitcher. He is probably the best pitcher in this rotation, and Nola is not a guy that I trust, and it seems like he's going to be the ace for the Phillies. I don't trust Nola. I don't think he's better than Zach Wheeler, and everybody else in this rotation, Eflin, Velasquez, Howard, don't really scare me when you face the Phillies in the NL East. I just don't think so. Their lineup is another thing. Their lineup, when it comes with Quinn, Segura, Realmuto, Didi, Harper, Hoskins, guys like that, they got a pretty good lineup there. They got a deep lineup. But in years past, it was their bullpen that caused them a lot of problems. Sometimes it was the lineup that caused. So every time it was the lineup that was causing an issue for the Phillies to win. It was the bullpen that was a big time issue for the Phillies. So this is why the reason why I put the Phillies coming in at fourth in the NL East in 2021 is because their rotation has a lot of question marks. Their bullpen got a little bit better with a couple of acquisitions that they got. And the lineup, I think, is going to produce numbers, but I do think the bullpen and the rotation is not going to get them a lot of wins that they would need to move up the NL East. And that's why I believe that the Philadelphia Phillies are going to be fourth in the NL East with an 85-77 record. The Philadelphia Phillies are a team that could be potentially big time surprises if everything goes well, if their bullpen gets better, if their rotation with Nola and Wheeler at the top pitch lights out. And Nola has to step up this year for the Philadelphia Phillies to go anywhere better than fourth place. And if they do that, there's a big possibility that they can end up in third, possibly second place in the NL East in 2021. But right now, with an 85-77 record, the Philadelphia Phillies are fourth in the NL East. Coming in third in the NL East in the 2021 season in the NL East is the Washington Nationals, coming in at a record of 88-74. There's a few reasons why I think the Nationals can be in third place in the NL East, but can potentially be a big, big surprise in the NL East. If their rotation is healthy, if they can stay healthy and in the rotation and don't have major issues when it comes to health, I think they are going to have a season that is probably surprising to a lot of people and can be a team that can possibly make a wild card spot. I'm not sure if they can win a division, but they definitely get in a wild card spot because of their lineup. And their lineup with Turner with the speed at the top, Kyle Schwarber, Josh Bell, two additions that they got during the offseason, big time power. Then you already got look at Juan Soto, one of the best players in baseball. This team can be very dangerous, especially if this rotation stays healthy. Obviously, with Strasburg with the nerve issue, you got older guys as Lester and Scherzer. Corbin is in between. He didn't have a really good last year, but in 2019, the World Series year, they were dominant. The rotation was really good. But they're a couple of years older. We don't know about Strasburg with his injury. Scherzer is another year older, but he is in a contract year. Yes, Lester another year older. So we just got to wait and see with this rotation. Their bullpen, Washington's bullpen, did get better. They got a closer in Brad Hand that is very trustworthy. It was a guy that I was looking the Mets could get, but obviously Hand did not want to go to the Mets because they didn't promise him a closing role, and the Washington Nationals did. And that is truly important, especially when this Washington team can score a lot of runs and the hold down leads late in the game. You want a guy like Brad Hand closing out games, and that's what's with the Washington Nationals coming in at a record at 88-74, third in the NL East. Coming in second place in the NL East is none other than our own New York Mets with a 92-70 record. I believe the New York Mets rotation and lineup is the big reason why they're in second place in the NL East and will win 92 games this year in 2021 in the NL East. The biggest issue why I couldn't put them to win the NL East is because of their bullpen. The biggest reason that this team cannot go as far as they want to go is because of the bullpen. There is nobody you can trust in this bullpen where you can say, I trust this guy to close out games. I trust this guy late in games. There's nobody in this bullpen that you can trust. You can't trust Familia. You can't trust Diaz. You can't trust May. You cannot trust Betanzas. You can't trust Drew Smith. Not a lot of guys in this. Drew Smith just got hurt. There's not a lot of guys that I can trust in this bullpen, basically all of them, that can tell me that this team is capable of winning the NL East with a bullpen that they currently have. That's the biggest problem. The lineup is going to score a lot of runs with Nimmo at the top, Lindor with the offseason acquisition. It's a lot of guys that in this lineup, Conforto, Alonso, Smith, Davis, a lot of guys with big-time power, and I do believe that this line's going to score a lot of runs, which is only going to help this rotation that is minus Carrasco for 6 to 8 weeks and put in Luke Casey, who I really like, as the fifth starter, I really think this rotation is going to be helped out a lot by this offense, which will take a lot of less pressure off the Mets rotation with not have to worry about giving up 1-2 runs and losing ball games, as we've seen for the last couple of years with this Mets team. When it comes to the best pitcher in baseball in DeGrom, you score 2 or 3 runs, you're probably going to win that game when DeGrom pitches. Stroman in a contract year, projected to have a big year because of the contract year. Taijuan Walker can be sneaky good. I feel like he was the pitcher that we've seen in Toronto. He has a lot of unmatched potential that can just blow up and be big time in Taijuan Walker, and I believe that he will do it this year. I really, truly believe that. I wanted Walker instead of Odorizzi, and the Mets got him, and I think that's going to be a very good move for Sandy Alderson. Then you have David Peterson, who was really well coming in his rookie year in 2021, who I really trust, and I think he's only going to get better as one of the lefties in this rotation. Then, to top out the rotation, Joey Lucchesi, who got a very weird windup and weird mechanics, but the ball pops in the glove. He doesn't throw extremely hard, but his mechanics that are really funky, the ball really jumps on the batter. And he pitched really well in spring training. You can't always look at spring training as the end-all be-all, but so far he pitched really well in spring training. And he will be a very good fifth starter for this Mets team until Carlos Carrasco can come back 6 to 8 weeks, hopefully sooner. But it seems like maybe 6 to 8 weeks when Carlos Carrasco can enter this rotation. This Mets team with a record of 92-70 coming in second place in the NL East and probably will get a wild card spot. I'm not sure if it's going to be wild card 1 or wild card 2. It would be nice to get the wild card 1 so we get the home field advantage. But the Mets are not good enough because of their bullpen to win this NL East. So I put them at number 2 in the NL East with a 92-70 record. And last but not least, coming in first place in the NL East, you guys already know it's the Atlanta Braves. The NL East champs the last couple of years, coming in with a projected record that I believe will be 95-67. This team all around is really, really good. They're going to be a very hard team to beat. Their bullpen is good. Their lineup is stacked. Their rotation is young and very good. With putting in this veteran pitcher in Charlie Morton to solidify this rotation with Soroka and Fried and Ian Anderson. Those guys are potentially, all of them can have a chance to win the Cy Young. With Fried and Soroka for sure. You know, Soroka's coming back from that terrible Achilles injury. And Max Fried, when he wasn't hurt, can be one of the best pitchers in baseball. Now, I don't think he's better than DeGrom, but again, when you have a lineup such as the Braves do with Albies, Acuna, Freeman, Ozuna, d'Arnaud, these guys got big time power. They got a lot of speed. They got great defense. All of this combined is to get this team to have a 95-win season. And it's very possible. They really have very little weaknesses. And that's why I think the Atlanta Braves are going to come first in the NL East, because every team in this NL East, other than the Braves, have flaws. The Mets with the bullpen, the Phillies with the bullpen in the rotation, the Nationals with the rotation. And the Marlins, they're too young. Their rotation is good, but their lineup is not that good. Everybody has flaws. It doesn't seem like the Atlanta Braves has much flaws because their bullpen is very well. Their lineup is excellent. And their rotation, healthy, can be one of the best rotations in baseball. And that's why I give the Atlanta Braves the nod for the NL East and win the NL East battle, because I think the Atlanta Braves have the least amount of flaws in this division that will put them over the top and have the most wins in the NL East. So when it comes to the NL East battle, ranking them from 1 through 5, coming in first in the NL East is the Atlanta Braves with a 95-67 record. Coming in second in the NL East with a 92-70 record is our New York Mets. Coming in third with an 88-74 record, it's the Washington Nationals. Coming in fourth in the NL East in 2021 with an 85-77 record is the Philadelphia Phillies. And coming in dead last in fifth in the NL East for 2021 is the Miami Marlins, coming in with a record of 79-83. That is my new NL East battle for the top spot in the NL East. And I believe the Braves, with the best record of 95-67, will win the NL East, with the Mets getting a wild card with a 92-70 record. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed this video, guys, hit on that like button. If you enjoy all my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I go live and when I post my videos, hit on that subscribe button, everybody. I want to thank you again for watching, and as always, let's go Mets.